Hi there and welcome to Go Southern Alberta. I'm Christy Pick, and today we are going to be talking about something that literally anybody can participate in. Today we're going to be talking with a couple of members from the Community Foundation of Southeastern Alberta about Random Act of Kindness Day. We're hanging outside of their building right now, and then later on in the show we're actually going to head downtown Medicine Hat to actually do some random acts of kindness. So stick around, it's all coming up here on Go Southern Alberta. Well, welcome back to the show. As I had mentioned off the top, today we are talking all about Random Act of Kindness Day coming up November the 7th. I'm now joined by Mike Christy with the Community Foundation of Southeastern Alberta. Mike, this is the second year that we've had this in Medicine Hat, but it's not only a year old. Tell me about the day.
Well, it's part of a national program. It was created in the Kitchener-Waterloo area. They've been running it for a few years. I think we certainly started it last year. And I think it had been operating in Grand Prairie in Alberta probably one more year than that. So from our point of view, it's still quite new to Alberta, but we're very pleased to be doing it for the second year.
Okay, so the question that I get when I talk to people about Random Act of Kindness Day, how do you have an organized random event?
Yes. No, I quite agree, and I think if you want to have a truly random act of kindness, it's the kind of thing you can do throughout the whole year. But you might consider November the 7th, Friday, November the 7th, as a day in which a lot of organized acts of kindness take place. Now, it's organized in the sense that there are people planning to go and do, thousands of people will, if it's anything like last year, will plan to do events. But who they provide those acts of kindness for is done on a very random basis. So they're not going to go specifically to one person or one place. They're going to do that in a random way. So we certainly think it is very much random in that the person receiving the act of kindness won't know about it until it happens.
All right, so this is being spearheaded through the Community Foundation, but you have a group of volunteers that are planning it and trying to get the word out and that sort of thing. What was the response last year, and why did the Community Foundation decide to get involved with an initiative like this?
So thousands of people, there was over 2,000 volunteers last year who provided in excess of 11,000 acts of kindness. So our job certainly is to help coordinate teams or crews, we call them kindness crews of people, to go and participate. So there's a lot of planning and coordination and providing people with stuff that sort of promotes what they're doing. From our own standpoint, though, our board of directors thought that it would strategically be a good thing for us to do because it helps bring the community together. It builds a sense of neighborliness, if you like, and it enhances general empathy within the community for one another. And that's all good from our point of view as a charitable philanthropic organization. The more we have that in our community, the better the job is that we're doing and on behalf of our community. It's all about improving the quality of life for everybody in Medicine Hat. That's part of our mission, and we certainly feel that this does exactly that job, because I'll guarantee if you've had a random act of kindness on November 7th, you'll feel better about life for sure.
How do people get more information, and how do they form a crew or join the day?
Well, frankly, the simplest and best way is go to the Community Foundation website, cfsea.ca, and as they say, follow the links, and there is a separate website for Random Act of Kindness Day, and it's very easy using that website to register a name, an organization, a crew, and thereafter then you're contacted and all the information is provided. So it's a relatively simple process, and like everything in this world, the internet can help us get what we want.
All right, well, thank you so much, Mike. And later on, we're going to catch up with you doing your random act of kindness today before November 7th, like you said. Anytime throughout the year, you can do this. So stick around. After the break, we're going to talk to Lee with Random Act of Kindness Day. Well, welcome back to the show. As we had mentioned earlier, we're talking all about Random Act of Kindness Day. It is coming up on Friday, November the 7th. Earlier on in the show, we were talking with Mike Christy from the Community Foundation of Southeastern Alberta about the history of what this day is and how it got started here in Medicine Hat. We are in the second year. I'm now joined by Lee, who is also at the Community Foundation. Lee, when we were talking with Mike, he had mentioned these kindness crews and something about registration. So Why exactly is it important to register your teams for this day?
So from the Community Foundation perspective, it's important for us to be able to track the impact that kindness has had on our community throughout this event. And it's also a really fun way to gather with your friends and have various pieces of promotional materials, whether it be sunglasses or these fun buttons or stickers, just as sort of a brand to what you're doing for the day. It sort of elevates that level of contagious so that people can recognize you, see what you're doing, and then maybe perform their own act of kindness at the same time.
So they'll be able to pick up these items ahead of November the 7th?
Yes, absolutely. We'll have a scheduled event planned in order to distribute these materials.
Okay, perfect. Now, you were involved with last year's event, and you actually had an opportunity to go out with a few different crews and see what they were doing. So can you share some of those stories and maybe inspire us as to what we could do?
Oh yeah, absolutely. As a committee, one of our directives for this year was to really penetrate the school system so we can help to change behaviors and create attitudes in children that teaches them that kindness is really a cool thing to do. And so the story that sticks out most for me there is a woman contacted me earlier on into the planning process. Her name was Teresa, and she said, I want to tell you about my son. And so her son is an 8-year-old, and it's the beginning of the school year, first few weeks of September, and she's been sending him to school with lunch every day. And she notices that their juice box and snacking things have been depleting more so than they probably should be. So she realizes he's taking more and more things to school, and so her greatest fears, she thinks, are going to be revealed when she talks to her son and she thinks he's being bullied. And so she speaks with him, and his mom the little boy says to his mom, "Oh no, Mom, I'm not being bullied. I have a friend at school who doesn't have anything, so I take more for him." And it's just the perfect profile of someone we want to have as a part of Random Act of Kindness Day. Those people that create contagious acts of kindness that are, have that ripple effect in our community, and they encourage people to pay it forward and look for opportunities to seek ways to be kind to one another. It's natural. It just happens organically.
So what are some other acts that you had seen last year, some other ideas that maybe your committee has had for different acts of kindness?
Another really neat story was the Medicine Hat Skateboard Association. They went out and they did a bottle drive, and they collected $700. And one of their acts of kindness was to go to a local coffee shop where they can only safely assume that many coffees had been paid forward by many people throughout the day. And they provided gift certificates for groceries to the staff. Because some of the staff at those organizations can be fairly low-paid workers and people who live from paycheck to paycheck. For me, it was a supremely motivating and inspiring initiative by them to really dig deeper into what it means to go be kind.
I think that's really cool that when you see acts like that, it's not just a simple one-day thing. When you see something that motivates it to carry on past that November 7th date. So is that really an aspiration of your team to see this actually happen all year long instead of just on that one day?
That's a fantastic question. Our committee is actively engaging in what we call sustainability for Random Act of Kindness Day. Our plan is to keep random acts of kindness present in the community 365 days a year. This is but a stepping point for kindness in our community. Sure, it may be a one-day organized event that maybe is not so random in the grand scheme of things, but the point of this is to make kindness contagious 365 days a year. Let's look for every opportunity to do for others as we'd have them do for us.
That's fantastic. Well, I see you have a sign here that says free hugs. It can really be as simple as that, giving a free hug, sending an email to somebody and saying, I'm thinking about you, thank you for what you do, anything like that. So thank you, Lee, for joining us today, and good luck on November 7th.
Thank you. Would you like a hug?
I would. All right, well, stay tuned. We have a little bit more coming up on Go Southern Alberta, and remember, November 7th is Random Act of Kindness Day. Well, one last time, we're in downtown Medicine Hat today talking all about Random Act of Kindness Day. Of course, it's coming up on Friday, November the 7th, but they are encouraging Hatters to take part in this really all year long. If you want some more information about the event, you can go to rakdaymh.com. They're also on Twitter, RAKDayMH. And if you're online and you want some more information about what we're covering, we're on Facebook, Shaw TV Medicine Hat, or on Twitter at Shaw TV The Hat. So as we head out today, let's check in with Lee and see how she's going along with her Random Act of Kindness.